We're talking about how to get your ex back today, and welcome. This is the first episode of my new podcast with you, darlings. Big Sister Says. So, if you're new here, I'm Lauren Sugihara, intuitive love priestess, certified relationship coach, also certified in hypnosis and EFT. And I'm really excited to start sharing my tools with you here because I have helped thousands of people get their exes back or get over them. And I've really locked down the specific structures needed to help you stop chasing that person and have them chase you instead, which I know is what all of you are wanting if you even clicked into this. So let's get into it. The basics of my work are with feminine and masculine energy. So, yes, this works for everybody. It's not gender specific, it is based in the energy that you are putting out into your relationship. So, right now, I can probably already tell you that if you are watching this or listening to this on whatever platform, that you are most likely in your wounded masculine energy, or the buzzword out lately is anxious attachment, where you've been chasing somebody else. Otherwise, they would be the ones here watching this with me. So, the reason that you are not able to manifest your person towards you right now is because when you're chasing them in that energy, it's a really repellent energy. It's not attractive. When you chase something, it naturally wants to run away from you. And I apologize if that hurts to hear that, but I want you to know that I've been there and I understand how disheartening and how sad it can feel to be in that position. And you aren't alone. Okay, you're in the right place. So if you think about when someone comes towards you, um, especially in the beginning of your relationship, I'm sure that you saw that they were coming towards you a lot. They were doing the ones reaching out more initially. It could have been a love bombing type situation where they were reaching out so much, and you got really used to that type of attention. It was so amazing. And then when they started pulling away from you or pulling back, you maybe got insecure. And it could have most likely not been about you at all, okay? So when they've been pouring that much attention into you, naturally over time, they will get busy with work. Life happens. They'll get more comfortable with you in a healthy relationship. And if you have the type of energy where you need that constant reassurance you feel from your partner and you're not getting it, that can lead you to flipping from that feminine energy where you were receiving, allowing them to come towards you mostly, into a place where you are the one chasing them. And both of you will feel very uncomfortable in this role when it switches. They don't want to be smothered and chased. They want to be in masculine with you. And you don't want to feel like you have to chase your person or get validation, so you will feel very anxious. You're actually both in this energy feeling very anxious. And what you'll realize is when you feel that you need to chase somebody who's maybe not coming towards you, or they are emotionally avoidant attachment style, I have to call you out and say that you are actually avoidant in choosing to continue with someone like that in those moments. So you may feel like labeling yourself anxious or wounded masculine, but the very fact that you're drawn to someone when they pull back rather than pulling back from that yourself shows that you're avoidant. You're choosing someone who doesn't want to or is unable to give you the validation that you're desiring in that moment. So that might blow your mind to find out. It did me when I realized I had avoidant tendencies in that area. I don't like, honestly, to label people as anxious or avoidant because you'll often find, my darlings, that you will flip flop into one or the other depending on the relationship that you're in. So if you have one of those guys that is just, blowing up your phone, coming towards you all the time, you may start to exhibit your more avoidant qualities like, yeah, I'm busy, pulling back. So when people label themselves or their prospective partner as one or the other, I know it gets clicks. I know people might disagree with me a ton, but really, I've been doing this a long time and I've found that people have both in them depending on the situation they're in. So, how we can effectively work on these energies that are very natural to every human. All of us have had some sort of difficulty or trauma when we were little, and it can range from full on trauma up to just, not getting enough attention, etc. But we all have things, and that's what we bring to our relationships. And that's what makes relationships work or not, how much we've worked on these things in ourselves or how unhealed we are in these things. There's an element of knowing who you are and being yourself when it comes to other people that is so beautiful, because when we do these things, um, when we bring ourselves in our authenticity to the relationships that we're in, people get to decide, like, hey, I'm willing to work with this person, or this is, something that I can't deal with where I am in my healing. And that's where you get scared. That's where you either feel like you can't show up as yourself and you're trying to be somebody else so the person won't leave, or you are running away, depending on the situation. So if you are in this state where you're wanting to attract that person back to you, I can always tell that you are hyper focused on what the other person is doing, and in some way, shape, or form, you have lost yourself by focusing on the other person. And so oftentimes women and some guys, I work with men as well, one to one, will come to me and they want to know how to make the other person come back, how to make the other person think of them. They're acting as though the other person is the piece that we have to change. Okay. Now, the problem with that mindset, my darlings, is that one, you cannot control another person. Okay, you can manifest a different version of that person by changing how you are perceiving things, but you cannot force somebody else, nor would you want to force someone to love you. Love is something beautiful that is given very freely based in trust and care and acceptance. And so the very thought of forcing it makes it not love. And when you understand this, is when you can actually change everything. So, how do we do this? First off, you have to understand masculine and feminine energy and where you are in those energies at that moment. So I've already said you're probably in your wounded masculine if you feel like you are chasing someone or missing someone, etc. So what we want to do to counteract the wounded masculine actions is you have to be very counterintuitive, and you have to pull your energy back away from that person, even mentally. The focus, the reaching out to them, the looking at social media or seeing if they're looking at yours is all wounded masculine. You're looking for them to heal you or solve your discomfort. Okay. And when you're able to do that and put it onto yourself, that's when you get into that ideal receiving energy, the divine feminine energy. And that is when you will attract them towards you. Now, we all have four energies: divine feminine, divine masculine, wounded feminine, wounded masculine. And I will invite you, of course, to check out my packet that explains that, as well as the meditations that go along with it. There's three. There's a meditation to stop obsessing, a meditation to not reach out to them, and a meditation that alleviates your fear of casual dating. Because if this is your ex and you're just being exclusive without being, in a relationship, then that needs to change. And you'll have to excuse me, you guys, I have a little bit of allergies or getting over a cold. I don't know what my nose is doing, but if I sound sniffly, that's why. But we're here and we're learning, right? I just felt called to start this today, even with that going on. So definitely check out the meditations. They're only a couple bucks. I wanted everybody to be able to have those, so you can find the description with the link. But when you understand the energy that you're in and the energy that you need to be in to attract, which is divine feminine, for us ladies, then you can shift the energy away from that person. You think you're being sly by checking their social media in ways that they can't see, or by checking to see if they checked yours. But that energy is very needy, unattractive, anxious energy. And every time that you're doing that, you're holding them away from you and you're losing yourself a bit more. That time, that energy that you're spending on somebody else who's not coming towards you chips away at your self-esteem and your sense of self-worth and your self-concept, which is key to attracting your ideal person, them, or someone better towards you, is the center of everything. So the way that you are chasing them is an escape from working on yourself. And that's what all of my work goes into, is helping you truly heal your limiting beliefs and your subconscious beliefs that are keeping you from the men, the success, or women if you're a guy. If you're a guy here, you're just gonna have to deal, because I mostly deal with women. So just, you're gonna have to make it work for you. Okay. So the women in my membership, in my self-concept group, what we do is a certain formula where you're doing your meditation in the morning, you're regulating your nervous system throughout the day, okay? And there's various ways to do that. Again, I'm certified in hypnosis, so you can do one-on-ones with me, or you can utilize the hypnosis and meditations in my courses and membership. But when you do that, you can let go of that anxiety. Okay, it's very important for you to get out of that needy energy to be able to attract them back towards you. Okay, definitely don't reach out to them for the love of God. All right, start there. Okay, You have to use emotional discipline as a woman in order to get what you want. You cannot just keep chasing someone and also have them coming after you. It doesn't make sense, right? I have all sorts of tools in there, breath work, EFT, tapping, um, and you can also do cold plunges, things of that nature to help you. But you have to get out of that needy state, right? Then we want to move into you visualizing what you do want, okay? You visualize them coming towards you. You visualize them showing up without their addiction, without their hang ups on commitment, whatever it is that you're struggling with. I've seen it all, okay? And when you make the shift on a regular basis, you are going to see a change in yourself and them. Okay? There is no magic spell that I put on people or any of the crap that you see out there. I shouldn't say that. There are amazing practitioners of beautiful spiritual work. I'm talking about those scammers out there, okay? So I apologize to those who are actual healing practitioners. I'm speaking angrily toward the scammers out there, okay? But what I have you do is structured formulas, and my full Reunite with Him program if you're trying to get your ex back. You have to actually dive into the worksheets and the work because right now you're addicted to them and the situation with them. In order for you to get them back, you have to fully detach from that hormonal addiction, not from the idea of being with them and caring for them, but from the attachment that keeps you from having a healthy connection with them first. So all of my clients and students go through that process, and that's how you see people like one of my clients was completely divorced from her person. He was actually living with another woman. They fully divorced, and she did my 3-month coaching package with me. Within 2 months, they were back in contact. He started going to therapy, moved out from that place, and 6 months later, they are living together, back together, right? But she had to go through the process of detaching first, just like everyone does, okay? So I want you to know you don't have to be scared or worry that your situation is too tough or different because, like I just gave an example of, I've seen people completely blocked everywhere. I've seen people where their person said, don't ever talk to me again. I full on hate you, right? But you have to detach and give them space and not be a cuckoo stalker, right? If you let the crazy girl that we all have within us drive the car, okay, you are just going to end up pushing them further away. And you're just trying to calm your nervous system using the person that is throwing it off in the first place. Like, make it make sense, right? I always tell my girls, don't go to Home Depot for a loaf of bread. They don't have what you need, right? So you have to get out of the mindset of using the person that's not showing up for you to regulate your nervous system and feel better. Okay, you'll continue to be that needy, anxious, crazy and push them or anyone else in the future away if you don't learn this, okay? So once we go through this process and you're healing, that's when you will start noticing changes in how you feel and how they feel. Okay, but you have to dive in fully. And during this process, basically what we do is we're leveling you up to where you feel like you're too good for them. And I have to be, forthcoming in, I do see a lot of women who come to me to get their person back and learn how to get their person back. And by the end of it, yes, of course, their person is chasing because they've been thorough, but now they're not sure about the person. They're so in their power that they're like, I'm going to think about this. And then, yeah, they can either choose to go with that person or not, which is great. But you become open to, other options when you're healthy, when you're in your power and you haven't been getting those needs met, whatever they might be, right? So I have to just make sure in this first episode that you understand the process of doing this. I want you to understand also that you're not crazy, that when you have a strong connection with somebody else, they can feel that. And there's a very great chance that you guys can reconnect. I see it all the time. So instead of you going with worst case scenario and thinking in the negative, which you don't know for sure, why not choose the positive instead? Like, oh, of course we have a chance to be together. Of course, I'm kind, I'm loving, I'm beautiful, I'm loyal. And you'll be feeling all these things as we heal your self concept. You might have them on a pedestal and you might be treating yourself like crap right now. So we do have to get you, my darling, into the space where you are actually treating yourself well, talking to yourself well, loving yourself truly, and then your person is going to feel the same about you. But you do have to be in this fully. You do have to heal your self concept. One of the keys that I didn't mention is in my membership in the self concept course specifically, there are sleep affirmations that I created specifically to help you change your subconscious beliefs while you sleep. So when you're in there, definitely start using those. 30 to 60 days is optimal for those to see results. Um, because if you're a very highly intelligent woman, which that's usually who I attract, you're overthinkers trying to figure out how to chase someone down and make them love you because they check the boxes, right? Um, you overthink and you need that extra help when your mind isn't able to go, no, that's not true, right? So as you sleep, when you listen to those things, it's been proven, there are studies that have proven that it changes behaviors. Okay, I believe that was through Yale, if you smarty pantses want to check that out. Okay, so utilizing those, utilizing all the tools, if you're doing hypnosis with me, using of these things together, right, is key to why it's successful getting the person back. Okay. So I will wrap up here. I'm so excited. I'm going to be doing so many topics related to this on, how to stop being triggered, how to be in the state of feeling loved, feeling worthy, all kinds of things. Make sure you join my free group because the ladies make suggestions in there. And obviously, if you're in my courses, you're in my private group as well. So I love this. Thank you for coming to Big Sis Says. I love being big sister to all of you, and you're all adopted by me now. I'll see you again soon. Bye. Say goodbye.